Alright, so now that we've got the shell plate installed, one final thing that we need to do is, especially since we're going from a larger case diameter to a smaller case diameter, I'm just going to take this miniature screwdriver and press in on each of the case retainer levers until it's a little bit too far in, and what's going to happen is the first couple rounds that go through are going to push these out to the proper setting so that they'll apply slight pressure as the cases go through. Again, this is particularly important at station number 2 where the priming goes on to ensure that the case is pushed into the shell plate enough to allow for proper primer alignment. So now we're moving our way back up. We're going to take our powder measure and look down, make sure that our expander plug is in place. We're then going to just drop the powder measure down into the case mouth expansion charging die, which is in station number 3. And we want to make sure that the bar here for the return that actually actuates the disc here is lined up with the hole in the subplate here, which is below the shell plate, where the chain is going to go down through, so that we'll be able to just drop this chain down and have a nice vertical drop for the chain. So once we get that oriented, we're just going to kind of gently shake the powder measure as we tighten this knurled disc up here to secure the powder measure. Okay, now it's time to get the spring and retainer hooked up on our chain here. So what I'm going to do is feed the chain through the spring, hold the spring up underneath as it gets oriented, and kind of compress the spring slightly. Now if we lower the ram slightly, we want to usually go up one more ball on the chain, and what I'm then going to do is align the crack in the retainer with the chain, pop that into place, and now let's see how that works. So we've got positive chain tension. Do you see that? So we have a slight compression of the spring. That's perfect. Powder measure is ready to go. Alright, so next thing, let's adjust the case feed assembly. And to do that, we're going to start by taking a 357 Magnum case, and we're going to drop that case down the appropriate case feed tube, which is right over the pickup. Next, we want to raise the ram so that our brass drops down, and then we're going to carefully measure the height of this tube feed assembly so that we have about a 1/16 of an inch gap or so between the bottom of the housing and the top of the brass case, and this will allow us to have reliable brass feed. And it's going to take a couple tweaks here to make sure that we get this tightened up right and that we have the proper gap. We'll give that a try. Looking from another angle, we can see that gap in this particular orientation. And to check for proper functioning, let's drop a few pieces of brass into our pickup tube to make sure that these cases are going to be properly inserted. So what I'm going to do to avoid going through the full loading process is let one drop each time, let it feed, and then most of the way up on my ram stroke, I'm just going to grab that piece of brass. Validate that it feeds each time, pop one out, and it looks like this is going to function pretty good, I would say. We just want to make sure that it's fully engaged and that the brass drops each time properly, and I think we've got a winner here. Better to get things sorted out up front than to have a problem once you start loading with live powder and that kind of thing. So we've validated our setup, and that does it for the case feeder. Well, in just a few minutes, we've changed from loading 45 ACP to preparing to stock our consumables and start loading 357 Magnum. So this press has proven to me to be a press that's very efficient and easy to set up, even when needing to change primer sizes and calibers in the same step. Stay tuned on ultimatereloader.com as we explore loading additional calibers and other considerations when loading with the Lee Loadmaster 5-station progressive reloading press. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I hope that you will explore other avenues of reloading on ultimatereloader.com. Thank you.